Yeah, there we go. Alrighty. Hey, everybody. Hey, Dale. I'm Rob the Builder. Can we build it? Yes, we can. Now, today, we are doing... Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to put the aircon on. I'm a daft wee womble. I will get onto that before we get started, because otherwise it's going to get kind of uncomfy. Anyway, today we are working on the exteriors of these. We've done the interior of our canopies. It is now time to do the exteriors. Now, we also need to make some executive decisions on colour. I will show you what I'm talking about directly. And then we should get on with business, shan't we? But first... Oh, no, it looks like my housemate may have taken care of business. Very good of him. I must have heard me going, no. Well, I didn't really go that, but, you know. Now, first things first. Dale, if you're on your bench, I'll flick you the link to come on if you'd like. Oh, coffee, I'll tell you, man. Is there any better substance in the known universe? I doubt it. Now, light on. Better view for you guys. Now, and light comes up. Now, something I've got to do as well. Yes, I thought I've left the... Now, something I need to get very quickly. It'll take me about 2 seconds. Oh, there we go. Bing. And back we come. Now, is this our one? Yes, it is. Now, what you'll notice is that we've got our bobbing grey here, and there's little splotches of dark green on our main olive coat. So we've got two. Now, the actual green is one thing, but the question I need answered, very importantly, in fact, is which of these to use for our olive colour. Now, I'm not too sure about that one. But what we will do, I think, zoom out, give them all a good shake, make sure they're properly... what we've done so far on these, by the way, is the interiors. Now we want to do the exteriors. Now, now. Yeah, it's a bit dark. So is that. That's straight olive drab. Yeah. Although, yeah, that'll do us. They always seem to be a little more green than that, but, you know. All right. Now, as for going on top, we'll use a proper green for that. as I said before, this is just a olive drab colour. Oh. Oh well. I'll give you put the link up anyway. That way, if you want to, you can. And if you don't, that's fine too. It's all good in the hood. There we go. Now, something I would like to check out, now that I've made the decision that this will be a olive, is I want to find out the colour of the. Now, I'm thinking that the little front nose area should be, well, yeah, what colour should it be? That's what I want to know, basically. All right. Now, it looks like everything, with the exception of the ball turret, needs to be done in this colour. Yes, that is correct. All right. Now, give me a moment, I'll zoom you out. Let's have a look here. Now, they reckon, tells us nothing. Now, give me a moment because I have a cheat sheet somewhere conveniently on hand. I do. Here we go. Okay, so yes, that's going to be olive drab as well. All right. Oh, hey, Scott, how you doing? The link's up if you want to join us on the. I'm just got to see how far I've got to on the stream. I've just made the executive decision that this will be my olive colour for the B-17. And then I'm going to get down into, painting that. Yeah, Scott, you on your bench at the moment or just chilling? I've got the interior of all these canopies done. Now I've just got to do the exterior areas. There we go. Oh, hey, cutie guy, how you doing? Yeah, guys, I'm talking on 2 platforms, so yep, just as you know, if I seem random, this is why. Now, let me see what we're doing. Here we go. We can start with this one. Being our front bit, it gets the main colour. I've got to check out the flight sim. That looks or sounds very cool. Because you get to do the whole World War II pilot thing, don't you? I dare say you could invest heavily in Yeah, I'm good, thanks, mate. I guess you could invest quite heavily in equipment to facilitate the reality of the situation, proper yoke and stuff like that. I was over at a mate's place. He does car ones, and yeah, he's got a properly set up driver's cockpit, basically. Now, let's see how we go. There we go. Now, this one always curves over into a bit of a hook. This particular brush. You probably can't, I might see it just there. Doesn't really matter, I'll work with it for a while. It's still a good brush, and sometimes that hook is actually advantageous, but other times it ain't. Now, oh yeah. So, Scott, when you got a moment, being as you're in mid-flight and all, what aircraft are you flying? If I had the options and bearing in mind that I'm very much a World War II based sort of a person on such matters. 109. G6. That's would be my choice. Oh, hey Penny, how you doing? Oh, jolly good. Thanks, Penny. How you doing? Good? Oh, you're flying a... Oh, I'm familiar with that aircraft. That's always a good time of the day. Doesn't matter what your job is, to my understanding. Even if you like your job, you've still got responsibilities within it. I'm just doing the canopy work here today. If you're thinking of getting on the bench and would like to join the stream, let me know, and the links are up on the chat board. So yeah, if you would like to, let me know. I'll just have a bit of a look. We're good. Now, we'll come around this way. That's right, you said you're off to bed. Talk about short-term memory loss. Dear me, kids. Alrighty. If I keep that caper up, they'll soon be shooting me off to my home. Hello, dearie. I can't remember your name. Dear, oh dear. Actually, I shouldn't laugh. That's what happened to my grandmother. Remember visiting her once. Walked in, turned to my mum. Here, who's that? That's Robert, mum. Oh, here, who's that? That's Robert, mum. Oh, here, who's that? We could play that game all day. Never mind. Hang on. Okay. Oh, hello. Ah. Well, that's a pretty fair approach, I would suggest. After all, if it's a job of that ilk, good on you. And let's face it, who needs to worry about excessive responsibility? In fact, I'm in no position to talk. I don't work at all. You know, man, it's a hard life, but someone's got to do it. There we go. Well, that's right. Well, you clearly got your priorities well outlined there, mate. 1:32 length. That's huge, man. That is really huge. Is that the Border Models one? Is that, yeah, I've seen them. Speculated long and hard. But the reality is no. I mean, I'd love to. I just don't have the space for it. These are the realities, kids. What I have considered doing, I just realised something. What I have considered doing in a bigger scale is some 1:16 figures that are put out by ICM. So do these cool guard figures in 1:16. There's a whole series of them. Collect this week's. No, seriously. They're all out already. There we go. That's that problem fixed. Hong Kong. Okay, yeah. One is to 48 B-52. That would be ginormous, man. So you like large-scale bombers then? Dearie me. That's whoa. Alrighty. And we'll come around here. Around. Yeah, well, fair enough. As a former front row forward, I should understand that sort of concept. Alrighty, so this is almost this one done. After that, this, I believe it's going to get a whole lot easier. Oh, wait. I think I've spoken too soon on a couple of them. Is this the point where I should be putting the little caveat on the live clip? This is not for children. Actually, these days kids know a whole lot more about it than what we did at their age, I tell you. Largely due to sex education. Alrighty. Next, we will come around here. Alrighty. All right. So, okay, here's our nose cone on the B-17. Front, back. So, yeah. So you can see, in fact, here, actually, that's a good angle. You can see how I've got the green on the outside, but you can see the rubber seals. That's come up well there. I've got those two holes too close together. I'm a bit grumpy about that. Never mind. Now, we'll pop that there. Next, we will roll with this one, I reckon. This is going to be largely a straightforward op. I should think, anyway. I'll start on the other side. So, go. All right, maybe that angle. So, oh, you can see, good. Bit more. Probably a bit more on all of those angles would be good. There we go. There we go. All coming together, I tells you. A bit more here. And there we go. So there's a side bits done. I think you have to give the glass a bit of a polish before I put it on and varnish it. But mostly that's starting to come together already. Now, we'll go, actually, we'll go that angle first. Yep, we're good. Okay. So actually, this is the front. So we'll do that. There we go. That angle. And there we go. Now, next, once I've done, pretty obviously, there and there we go. So, next we'll go around the outside, but along the straight lines that sort of a way, if you know what I mean. Yeah. Now, all right. Oops, a daisy. Got a little overzealous there. Off you come. Oh, sorry, mate. Didn't see you there. Give me a moment. Where's my cursor? There we go. There you go. How you doing?
Yeah, not too bad, thank you.
Because of the way I have my where my desk is relative to my computer, it's actually a bit hidden by the actual box of my computer.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't see you there for a bit. Where was I? That's what I was doing. That's what I was doing.
I've got to sit down and rearrange my workspace as well. It's kind of getting cluttered.
I've got to. I'm looking very seriously at getting a new work desk that will be both bigger and have like a little series of container things built onto it. So
Yeah.
let's face it. And then I'm going to get one of those. You can get those modelling units that have the whole stack of space for your paints and everything.
Yeah, I have started 3D printing some paint racks, but to be fair, it's not a great design.
Ah.
It's not bad. I guess if you're starting off, it's all right, but I think if you can get those MDF ones, the laser cut ones that are out there, I think you'll be better off getting those.
Yeah.
And then again, it depends what paint you use, to be fair, because
Well, yes.
there's that many on the market nowadays.
Yeah, they are very different dimensions. And that's a bit of there's no one standard.
Yeah.
Be convenient if they did, but that's probably why they don't. I remember once I was trying to get, I needed a new tyre, and I drove a Ford.
Yeah.
And a friend of mine actually did have a tyre that was actually off the car and he didn't need, but it was a Holden one, General Motors.
Yeah, GMC, yeah.
And Ford had 5 studs, whereas GMH
Yeah.
had 4.
Yeah.
When I was having a whinge to my mates about it, I said, well, they do that for a reason. Says you can't just switch over the various parts.
Yeah.
And I had to think that, frustrating though it was, yes, it was pretty simple business, common sense that was running that.
This kit I'm building is absolutely terrible.
There we go. It's starting to come together. Now, once I've gotten that line done, I reckon actually I need to do a bit more on there. Then I'll just do around those windows. It's just zip, zip, zip. I believe that's the technical term. Zip, zip, zip.
Would you like an exclusive on my big build for the year on your channel?
Pardon?
Would you like me to put an exclusive in on your channel before everybody else finds out?
Yeah, sure. That'd be great.
I'll just grab it.
So now I've gotten that one done.
I'm going to try and get this in on camera. There we go. It's the Night Rider truck and trailer.
Oh, yeah, nice one.
Picked out for an absolute bargain.
Cool. I've been doing some assessments on the costs of Lamborghini Miuras and Mustangs, and I can get some nice kits in a good big scale, very affordably, I've discovered. So I think it was you who suggested I should do more cars. That may yet
Yeah,
happen.
I like my cars. I like my motorbikes. I mean, I've always been a motorbiker, but I do appreciate some of the old school cars. A lot of the cars I've been looking at wanting to build are like the old Model Ford T's and the old Chevys and stuff like that.
Yeah, you've got a very messy operation here. Excuse me a moment, I'm getting a bit. There we go. I got you. Dearie me, that's not the sort of behaviour you require. Get off of there. There we go. It's not perfect. Rubbing. There we go. It's not bad, but it's not good. Mind you, not entering it in the competition now, so hey, you know. I always remind myself in the final analysis, if anybody's going to give me jip about it, there's two words I can use for them or to them. To let them know how much I'm concerned, if you follow me. Alrighty. There we go. So there's that side. It's going to be a bit tricky there, but never mind.
If you're happy with what you do, then that's good enough.
Actually, overall, that's looking fairly good and tidy. One thing I do like about the B-17 cockpit canopy, it looks a bit like an eagle. At least it does to me. All right, now I reckon we go around these. This and the dorsal gunner are probably going to the fiddliest of the lot. The dorsal gunner's got like almost a spider web of structure on it, which makes for entertaining painting.
Thank you, Penny and Scott. It is an awesome kit. I can tell you now, it's not screen accurate.
Oh, hang on.
It won't look like it is on the TV show, but for what I paid for it, I will not complain one little bit.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to getting started. I'm just putting together a paint list of the paints that I don't have to complete it. It's mainly the clears, for the headlights and indicators and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I want to make sure that I've got everything in place before I start it.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. There's nothing worse than starting and then realizing you need to go and get something to do it. It's very annoying, which I find it to be. So I usually look at what paints I'm going to need and I go and get them.
Yeah, with this being an Aoshima kit, they're going on the Mr. Colour paints. Only place I can find them at a reasonable price is on eBay.
eBay can be well, it can be good and it can be bad. Depends on your luck a bit, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I've had some good outcomes on eBay. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, well, this is where I got the kit from.
Yeah.
The person that was selling it didn't realise what they got in the stash,
Oh, really?
and they listed it for 40 quid, UK money. And I just went in with a cheeky offer of £35, and they accepted it. And I'm like, well, I were doing somersaults and river dancing and all sort of stuff around the room. The cheapest I've actually seen it is like between £80 and £90.
Wow. There's a famous story of that ilk, where the this guy, and we're going back quite a few years now, but he was at a garage sale, as you do.
Yeah.
And he saw these two guitars. And he's turned to the guy holding the sale and said, "Oh, how much are these?" I said, $50 the pair. And the guy's gone, "Not a problem." Lashed the $50. And what he's basically gotten himself was two Strat Originals, 1959, worth at the time, and now worth God knows how much, worth $5,000 a piece.
Yeah.
And it was just that the guy didn't know what he was selling.
Yeah.
And yeah, if people don't know what they got, you can be in for, they could be selling themselves well short.
Yeah, absolutely. I did feel quite bad when they accepted the offer, because I would have probably been up to about £60-70.
Yeah.
But if you don't, put a cheeky offer and you never know. And on this occasion, it's worked out good for me. I've had more offers refused.
Yeah.
Than I've actually dropped on one or two. But
yeah,
you get those that knows what they're doing, and you get those that haven't got a clue. I know it's horrible taking advantage sometimes, but you do have to do it sometimes.
This is just a thing. It's just the way it is. It's not a.
It's nothing personal, but
oops, a daisy.
Sometimes you have to be a little bit selfish.
There's nothing wrong with that, actually, mate. It's a perfectly healthy thing to do on occasion.
Yeah, as long as it's in the right context.
So long as it's not your main reason d'etre, so to speak.
Correct. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I'm sure we've all known people who that's their entire way of being. And at that
Well,
stage of proceedings, they're not very pleasant people, and they're not in for a very good time.
I could go into a story or two, but it's not for public consumption.
Yes, I'm. I dare say we. Oh, hang on.
Is Scott coming in?
Scott's Metro just. Ah, here we go. Mr. Colour. I've never used Metro Hobbies. Scott and I are talking about an Australian
Yeah,
hobby store.
yeah.
Metro Hobbies.
I've heard him mention Metrobus before. Yeah,
And apparently they've just started stocking Mr. Mr. Colour rather, which is of course all part of the.
it's the same thing. I think I don't know if they brand it for different countries or whatever, but
Yeah, the
you got Mr. Colour, you got Mr. Hobby. They're basically the same paints.
they are. They're all Mr. something or other. And
Yeah,
ultimately the same stuff.
yeah. Never used them, but
I've used, well, as you can see, I used their softener and decal setter, and I found that to be fairly good. Glue, the jury's still a bit out on. I prefer needle applicator. They use brushes.
yeah.
Although their thin paint is very useful on occasion. Thin glue rather. As far as, and they've got their spray colors aren't bad. So yeah, on the whole, based on that, you should be okay. But I don't know that for a fact.
Are you getting to these outlaw paints that are supposed to be the dog's danglies? Supposed to be absolutely top notch. I think they're your way, aren't they? The Australian paints. Scott will know where I'm talking about. Outlaw paints. They're supposed to be the best thing next to sliced bread.
Fun fact, did you know that Betty White actually was older than sliced bread? Ergo, the saying should be the best thing since Betty White.
I do know Betty White, I think, from the Golden Girls.
That's the one.
Yes.
All right, there's a cockpit canopy, exterior, interior. So we've got two different sets of colours, well, three different colours going on it. There we go. Now, next. This one's a bit tricky. That's the one I'm talking about with the pretty much spider web of structure to be painted around. Now, probably the best first option is the edge. Rubbin. Dearie me. There we go. Starting to come around now. So we come all the way around here.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for these parts that I've just painted. I need to do a second pass on them. The painting stage is quite boring, to be fair, isn't it? It's not entertaining. It's not entertaining for the viewers.
Oh, look. There's a thing I do with my kits. I don't know if you give them a black wash before you start anything.
Yeah, some of them I dust down lightly where the darker areas need to be. I'll just waffle over them a little bit.
Well, I'll do that on stream, and I've got to say, watching me just slap on paint and wipe it off again,
Yeah,
probably isn't that great. Although it does give you an opportunity to show off the detail that lies underneath.
yeah, absolutely. I do that more probably on the Warhammer that I paint.
Oh, yep.
It's like pre-shadowing. And then do the paint, and then I'll go over with the wash again. I just take off with the cotton buds where I don't want the wash to settle.
Yeah. All right. This has got like a little rim on the bottom. We've almost got that done. Once I've gotten the canopies done, I've got to basically go over all the interior stuff and make sure there's no detailing I've missed or anything like that. And then I can probably get down to assembly. And there will be much rejoicing. Actually, I just realised I need to paint the bloody bombs. No point building a bomber without bombs. All right. Small little correction there.
Yeah, I don't know if you can see it on this sprue, but these three areas were supposed to be aluminium, but I didn't have aluminium. So I just painted them in silver and then put a black wash over them.
Oh, yeah.
Completely dulled it down. It's acceptable. It's not perfect, but to be fair, you won't be looking at that. You'll be looking at the main body on the Concorde.
Down to there. And down around the outside of that, I reckon, on both sides. So we'll come down here. Boom. Starting to come together, by golly. By golly, by gosh. By gee, by jingo, by crikey. Actually, I'm pretty happy with the progress I'm making on this. So I've got the nose cone done. I've got the cockpit canopy done. Yeah. It's all coming together, I tells you. Now we'll go across, I reckon. Oop.
Do you do much airbrushing, Rob?
Pardon?
Do you do much airbrushing on the paints?
That's how I generally do them. When I do detailing, like this,
Yeah.
it's always hand brushing. But because my thing with, okay, I airbrush the main area of the interiors.
Yeah.
And the exteriors. However, I find the idea of masking and then airbrushing with a canopy, the issue I have encountered is that if the masks don't work,
you get the bleed, don't you, into it? And
yeah, and then of course it dries, and
Yes.
you ain't doing nothing about that.
Yeah.
If you go barehanded like I'm doing, which you can clean up as you go along. If you get too zealous as with a bit of paint, this is where the wonderful world of the toothpick comes into play.
Yeah, absolutely.
And look,
yeah, I was just going to say all the stuff that I'm doing at the minute is the boring stuff. It's all the little nitty gritty, the little sub builds and stuff like that. I mean, when I get the main body out and start gluing it together and filler and putty and all that sort of stuff, then the airbrush comes out.
Yeah, it's I prefer to use the airbrush more for area.
Yeah.
When it comes down to, particularly if you're looking at, say, a dashboard where you're looking at, or the side of a cockpit where you're looking at potentially 6 or 7 colors.
Yeah.
Really small quantity in a very tiny area, not be damned. That's a whole lot of cleaning, a whole lot of airbrush cleaning, and that can be fiddly and annoying. Or not fiddly and annoying, but it can be very time consuming if you need to do a lot of it.
No, absolutely. Yeah.
And just nah. And in fact, for all the really close in stuff on cockpits and stuff, I tend to use Vallejo acrylics, purely because once you got one color on, you don't have to wait too long.
Yeah, Vallejo's my go. Yeah, Vallejo's my go-to paint.
The only issue I have with acrylics, and I'm sure I'm not giving you a news bulletin, is that they can come off easily, but you just got to varnish quickly.
Yes, absolutely.
But as far as facilitating the ease of getting lots and lots of, as you would say, nitty-gritty detail going. Winner, winner, chicken dinner, you know?
Yeah.
It doesn't get better. And easy to mix too. Shake, 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 ba, ba, da, ba. And away you go. That's similarly, ease of use is one of the reasons why I use SMS. Ordinarily, I would use them for airbrushing.
Yeah.
But the thing is, of course, if I'm going to use this color for the main coat, then I need to hand paint
Yeah.
with it. I'm sure you can work that out for yourself.
Yeah.
But yeah, for an area with an SMS, I wouldn't hand brush. It's not well suited to that, but it's great for airbrushing. You just shake and away you go. No need to thin it down. None of that behavior. Yeah, there we go. Almost done on this one. I sometimes think that aircraft designers did things purely knowing that scale modelers would build them in the future and that this would warp their brain. And when you look at when I look at this structure here, this to me only verifies my theory on it. You know.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've got a few. Here we go. There we go. Although, let's face it, when you get it right, it is kind of rewarding. That's the whole aim of the game, ultimately, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's you're in your zone, aren't you, when you're modelling? You're just away in your own mindset. You're just tootling along.
Yeah, look, it's one thing that modelling has done for me in a pretty major way is for me to understand that perfection does not happen.
No, absolutely not. It
I've
doesn't.
struggled with that for years.
But
And it's not a good thing. And well, it can be, but it can also be very problematic.
I used to strive for perfection when I was in the working world, and even though I did an awesome job, the client would turn around and say, "That's absolutely amazing, fantastic." I could always pick fault with it.
Yep.
And I used to beat myself up about it. Oh, well, I could have done that different, you know.
Well, for me, it was a problem as a martial arts teacher, as in business.
Yeah.
Because most Westerners just want to go in and do a cheesy few hours a week and da 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 da. I didn't understand that.
No.
And my standards were, well, I was taught by a Chinese guy who was, dare I say it, Chinese. I'm sure you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And I took that same ethos, and yeah, Westerners don't dig on it.
No.
Anyway, here's the dorsal gunner, and you can see what I'm saying about it being a bit of a spider's web caper going on. But there we have it, outside, inside.
Looks a
There's
bit
lots of
like
seals.
something off the TIE fighters off Star Wars.
If you want to see the pinnacle one of those, as far as, oh yeah, there we go, kids. Boom shakalaka. Look at that.
Yeah.
I tell you, I'm surprised Boeing didn't take George Lucas to bloody court for plagiarism. Cool, what a giveaway, eh? But he also, I know the Millennium Falcon, the cockpit is B-29. You have a good look at it. Yep, absolutely it is.
Yeah.
I also have reason to believe that he used footage from actual World War II raids to get ideas for how they should shoot the TIE fighters coming at the Millennium Falcon. And also, he used stuff like films like the Dam Busters for that, to get the idea as to how they would go about the stay on target sort of behavior.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, Dam Busters is a good film.
I was watching it with my housemate. And, of course, it was made in 1950, whatever. And,
50s, I think it was.
yeah, anyway. And there's a scene where the Guy Gibson lands a Lancaster, comes out to the door, reaches out, and as he's landing, there's this dog, a black dog, getting very excited. And as Gibson comes to the door, and the dog's running towards it, he yells out the N-bomb, shall we say? And you think, now, fair call. Back in the day, it was very acceptable, and nobody batted an eye. So, but we've already crossed one contemporary social more. Anyway, it turned out that the black dog in question was quite the popular chappie down the pub. And, yes, is given pints of beer and the like. You think, okay, so if this was to be judged by contemporary things, we've already transgressed racism. We're now moving into animal abuse.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it is a good movie, and I believe a fairly fair representation of a lot of what happened.
Yeah, it was. I think a lot of research went into making the film, even though it wasn't that long after the actual.
It wasn't in actuality, that was it?
To be
Really?
fair. I mean, I imagine in today's standards, with all the CGI and everything, they could make an absolute blinder of the movie. But they tried it with Memphis Belle, didn't they? They tried to make that.
It's a they did what they could.
Yeah, it weren't my cup of tea personally.
I've just realised something. I've started painting this with the wrong colour. Jesus. Glad I stopped myself. I was about to start doing the ball turret in green. It's Boeing grey. Oh! Fortunately, I stopped.
Right, I'm just going to pop to the bathroom. Not be a second, dude.
Now, so instead, I'll get onto this. But yeah, there's a number of movies that I'm old movies that I'm rather keen on as far as war movies go. I rather like A Bridge Too Far, because yeah, I mean it pretty much conveys the whole futility of the whole of war on its own. within the context of telling a quite gripping story. And one thing I find particularly interesting, or I found, was that I watched the TV series The World at War again not too long ago, and Brian Horrocks, who is played by Grant Fox, is that the right name? Or Grant Fox is a rugby player. I know the surname is Fox. Grant Fox, he played fullback for the All Blacks. Either way, but yeah, he appears in the movie, and it was kind of interesting to see an actual interview with the guy. So yeah, he was talking about on the World at War. He was talking about how they were approaching Germany, and the Germans had a fairly substantial army stationed at Cleves, and whilst he, as in Horrocks, was speculating as to how he should address this, he got a phone call from Bomber Harris, basically saying, "Look, would you like us to clear them out of there?" And Horrocks said, "Oh, I'll get back to you." And he thought about it, and he didn't like the idea, he reckoned, because Cleves had no military value beyond the presence of that army. But he reckoned he had to do what was right for his troops and ordered the bombers in, and they took care of business. But it gave him nightmares for years. And every time he saw or had nightmares of fires and burning, it was Cleves. And it's interesting to sort of see that person who's portrayed in the movie in that sort of real life context or real life context. That's what I thought anyway. Now we're starting to get somewhere here. SMS paints are good. Best suited for airbrushing, and they recommend. I think I'll actually give them a bit of a nice one, guys. About is, I'll show you in a minute. Let me just finish this part here. And then I'll show you what I think is very cool that they've done, and it's actually on their bottles. Because it actually tells you what PSI you should be operating at. And the diameter of the needle you should be rolling with. And at that point, you've got to say, well, that's a bit good. Certainly, I think it's a bit good. Because you know exactly what you've got to do. It's not an arbitrary thing. It's got to be this. Now, give me a moment. Just come around here. All right. And across there. Brief tidy up. brief small tidy up. And
I think my airbrush only runs at about 40 psi. I can't adjust it for some reason. It was only a cheaper thing.
there we go. That's that one. Now, what I was going to show you on the bottles. Sorry, I fell into my own little realm there. Here we go. Oh, they go for a 0.3 needle. It used to be a 0.2. But yeah, there you go. So it tells you what your PSI needs to be, 12 to 15, 0.3 needle. Boom.
Yeah, I've got a 0.3 in mine.
I've got a
I just
0.2.
use it for block colouring. To be fair, I can't go in with detail stuff and what have you. But
Thinner needles, to my understanding, are better suited for the fine detail stuff.
yeah,
Now, that used to be a 0.2 they rolled with, and that's what my brush is as a result. But it looks like they've gone up to 0.3.
yeah.
As to whether I need to, well, I've had no bad outcomes on my brushing since, so probably I don't need to worry about that excessively. If I'd had some poor outcomes on my brushing, then maybe I would. I'm not, so I shan't. There we go. All right, now making some very good progress now. I am giggity. So once I've gotten this one done, what I reckon can happen? Oops, it days. I know we could. Oh, maybe we're not.
Scott says I do have the Black Dragon 3.0 airbrush made by
Okay, that's the one that the SMS put out, isn't it?
yeah, and I love using it.
Okay, they're not too expensive either. I seem to recall, $150 or some such. Which at that price, I believe they give free delivery or something to that effect. Robin. Maybe I will do it. You never know. You never know. Which means there's about a 90% chance I will. Although the brush I use at the moment is a dream. I use a Spar Max. And I found that really, really good. There we go. That's them done.
Yeah, this is about $125. It depends where you get it from.
Oh, yeah. Now, what I'm going to do next. $125. Okay, well, if it was 100, I think it's 150 for the free, or you need to rack up 150 for free shopping. What I'd probably do is go 125 and just get some paints. Now, what I'm going to do. Here we go. Small swatch out there. Now, across, down, around, and down here. There we go. All right. Now, what I'm thinking is that what I'll do is what I did on the insides of these, which is to say, I'll go around the edges and then just get a bigger brush to go around the outside. So, or those areas that are not requiring a bit of delicacy. I'm sure you understand the rationale I'm applying.
Yep.
There we go. Then we come around to this one. Now, I'll come across here. Alrighty. 2 more sides, and then I will. There's 2 other little panels that have a similar sort of deal going on. So I'll do them. And then we'll get the, when I say do them, talk about just the edges. And then we will kick the big brush in. All right, so that's them done around the edges. And now, so start with this one. One, eins, zwei. I'm learning German, so don't mind me.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Ja, das ist gut.
7, 8, 9, 10, I think.
I'm learning German and Latin this year. I'll probably continue that for a couple of years. I think it's important to keep my mind active. Besides, I've always found German a very interesting language. That and Latin, which is why I'm studying it.
Yeah, it's different. Yeah, it's certainly different. I hated it at school. absolutely hated learning foreign languages at school, but as you get older, you think to yourself, bugger, that could have been useful.
Yeah, I'm doing it more for my own linguistic curiosity because English falls into the branch of German languages. And of course, it does have a lot of Latin in it.
No, I mean, I think 99% of English comes from Latin, doesn't it?
More German. And when you hear some of the words, it's really, really obvious. There's quite a lot of Latin in English because, of course, the Romans were in England for a few hundred years.
Yeah.
And there's also quite a lot from the time when the English monarchs were frogs. So yeah, you still get a lot more of that Latin influence.
Yeah.
From the French. But when you're looking at stuff like morning, morgen, some of the words in German are exactly the same in English. In is in. When you look at things like sexy is sexy, it's just the same word.
Yeah.
So a lot of it sometimes it's the same word, just pronounced differently, even.
Yeah.
But at the same time, because all we've done in Latin so far is some of the history of Rome. You can see a lot of the similarities in English there as well, where some of the words come from.
Yeah.
Because I had a bit of a read of the book that has all the language in it, or has a lot of our course in it, and it's things like, if you think of someone who's insular, they're generally kind of isolated, or people are if they're insular.
Yeah.
And the Latin word for an island is insularum. So hence insular.
Yeah.
So there you go. Got my second class tomorrow.
We've got at the workbenching. Howdy. Tash is in.
Oh, hey.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. I've been very in-depth in my stuff. How you all doing? The link to come on is
Tash will join us.
up the screen somewhere. I'll just flick it on. Give me a moment. There we go. So if you want to join in, feel free to click the link. I'll have a look in a minute. Now, down here. Actually, no, I don't like that angle. No. We'll come that way. And just around that bit. Oh, sweet. Then we're on to the quick bits. Then I'll have all the olive parts that are canopy done. Alright. Now, quick tidy up there. There we go. All right. Now. All right. Now I'm going to go up there and there. Then I'm going to clean this brush. Trot out the bigger one, or a bigger one.
Tasha, you jumping in, darling?
Oh no. All right. Just got your messages there, Scott. I will bear it in mind. Yeah. Thank you. I'll have to work out how I go about certain things.
I don't know if Tasha's in the green room, Rob. Have a quick look.
There we go.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Hello, my
Thank
dear.
you. How are you?
Yeah, good.
Good, good.
Busy
Chugging
painting.
along.
What are you working on? Has your delivery man been?
No, still waiting. I thought it
Oh,
would
the
be today,
scoundrel.
but it looks like tomorrow.
Dearie me.
So,
Dearie
always
me.
the way, this.
Well.
Yes,
What's
I'm
that,
hoping for a package to come tomorrow as well.
I said the song that came to my mind with regards to waiting was that one by, pretty sure it was Garbage. You know, the I'm waiting for you.
Yep.
Yeah, you're waiting for the delivery man. Ha! See that film.
Always the way.
Indeedy. Although I've got to say, over here, the delivery service is actually pretty quick. In my experience, at least. Now. We shall get a bigger brush going. Now, the one I used, was it yesterday? It was one of the days. Not that one. This one. This is really good, I find, for using on bits I want to cover area with, but might maybe want to show a bit of caution with, like along here, in case I get too close to the edgy bits. There we go. All right.
What's everyone been up to?
Pardon? What have I been up to?
Yeah.
I had my German class yesterday.
Oh, nice.
I made some do you know vanilla Kipferler?
Wow.
They're a type of German biscuit,
Okay.
and they're pretty yummy. They're almond and vanilla, basically.
Nice.
And I made a batch of them and took them in.
Yeah.
And I've got Latin tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
Also got to do some music practice today. And some writing. It's a hard life.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I do rather than go to work on a 9-to-5 basis.
Yeah.
I build models. I write books. I play music. It's a hard, as I said, it's a hard life.
Mm-hmm. Always the way.
There we go. So here we go. Now we'll need to do a bit more of a touch up on some parts of this. Maybe just there. There we go. But, okay, there's the outside of our fuselage. And, in fact, there you can see the rubber seals that I've painted on the inside.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty chipper about that. And there we have them, kids. So we've got two types of green, visible seals. And if people look through, they'll see them there as well. Giggity.
Yeah.
I is well happy.
Good.
Now, alrighty, now into there, into there. There we go. All right. Well, I would say there's a very good chance I will be getting onto the Boeing. I'll get all the canopies done today.
Mm.
That would be good, because then all I've got to do is the bombs, make sure that everything else that needs detailing has been detailed. And at that point of proceedings, assembly can commence. Although I'd possibly consider getting at least some coats on the hull and wings, just because of the amount of glass that's involved. If I do it properly or do it right, I might be able to minimize my concerns with regards to masking up the windows. That's the plan.
Yeah.
That's the plan, Stan. All right, now, next. All right, next one. Boom. Same drill, basically, but yeah, done. Now, that way. And finally, this one.
Come on, stick.
Yeah.
Tommy are extra thin and paint don't like to gel together.
Do what? Didn't quite catch that. Sorry, mate.
I says the Tommy are extra thin and paint don't like to gel together.
Hmm. There we go. Now, I just remembered something that's completely irrelevant to modelling. And doesn't need to be attended to urgently, but I'm glad I remembered it. I've got to take some pork ribs out for dinner on Friday because I want to marinate them tomorrow. There we go, starting to come together. Almost done. Giggity.
Yay.
All right. There we go. Now, next we'll do this one, and that's the green done. That's winning, kids. At least I think so. Then I'm going to mix the bow in grey. And then I think that's going to be my objective for today, to complete the canopies, because I don't reckon that's going to be too hard. There we go. And yeehaw. There is the last of our olive drab done.
Scott's asking how long you're going to be streaming, Rob.
Sorry, thank you for doing all the reading for me, man. I've got the attention span of a gnat.
Yeah, no worries, dude.
Over. How much longer? Probably not that much longer. I'd say another 15 to 20. I'll be back tomorrow. That much I can confirm. Now tomorrow is Thursday, isn't it? Donnerstag. Now tomorrow, because I need to find a suitable time. I've got to get to a printer's, or a place where there is a printer. What's the point? The nearest one is the library. And print off some assembly instructions for the racing harness I have for the car. Because otherwise I'm a little bit apprehensive in as much as I'm concerned that I'll get it wrong, which is not what we want at all now, is it?
No.
Now, all right. Now, next, we shall give that a bit of a wipe around. As the bishop said to the choir boy. Next colour. Now, what we shall do is I'm going to need to. Oh no, I'm good. Alrighty. This is going to take a while to mix, I can tell. Oh, actually, I could be in luck. I reckon I am. I reckon I'm wrong. Now, hang on a moment. Oh. Alrighty. Now, we'll get a nice crisp blush. This will do us. And there we go. One. Bright grey is quite so close to white, it's bizarre. But if they want to call it grey, more power to them. So there. The little wagon wheel. Then we come. We might as well do the wagon wheel on this side too. One, two, and three. Two wagon wheels. Then we'll do a semicircular arc. Alrighty, starting to get there.
What are you making, Dale?
I'm working on the Concorde at the minute.
Oh, nice.
I
How
won't
about you,
lie,
Rob?
it's a bugger of a kit.
Alrighty, now.
Get on.
There we go.
Come on. Get off.
Now, do the edges around there.
Are you working on the car still, Rob?
Pardon?
You still working on the car?
This is the ball turret,
Ah.
and This is the last bit of clear plastic I need to paint.
Ah,
So if I
okay.
get this done, that would be, and there's a shitload of glass on a B-17. At that point, I would be well happy, because that means there is still some detailing I need to do and some I'll need to check on.
Yeah.
But given that I should also, I'm hoping to complete the car in the upcoming week or so, it means I'll be able to go full speed onto the B-17 and my Lavochkin. That'll be
Nice.
kind of cool. Then I'll get this done. And then my next builds after that are a C-47 and oops, a daisy, and a BF-109 K4. And I'll also get a start on my 1:350 battleship once I've got the B-17 under control.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, the battleship will be a nice one.
The battleship is a huge one, mate. It's the dimension I give to sort of give you to convey the general size of it is, you can bear in mind that I'm 6'2". The hull's as long as my arm.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's a big thing. One of the things I like about it as a kit is that it actually comes with a stand that you can, I mean, I guess you don't have to use it, but I'm certainly going to, that you can use to put it on
Yeah.
for display purposes. I think that's kind of cool. It certainly makes it a damn sight easier.
Yeah, I'm part way through. Well, I say part way through. I'm just starting the Titanic.
Oh yeah, nice. Yeah, I got to say that is certainly on my bucket list, as it were.
That's at 1/570 scale. It's the Revell
That's still pretty
version of
sizable.
it. What is it about?
I mean, let's face it, it's arguably the most famous ship in the world.
Yeah.
About 40 centimeters long, I think. It's not a big one, but it's reasonable size.
Okay. Starting to get places.
That's good.
And after this one, just the back half of it, and that's the canopies done, kids. Yeah. And there was much rejoicing. These are, being on the outside, these are definitely going to require a second coat. On the interior ones, it's not such an issue because the bigger reality is few people, if any, are really going to look that close. And if they start casting aspersions saying, I'm not entirely convinced that paint on the inside of the ball turret is absolutely as thick as it could be, this is the point where the line of shallow graves in the hills gets added to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I use the 3 foot rule. If it looks good from 3 foot away, it'll do for most people. You're always going to get the rivet counters, though.
Oh. The thing I find most interesting about people who are generally that critical is often they won't put their own work up for to be looked at.
Yeah, of course they won't.
And
They criticise everybody else's.
that's exactly it. And it's because they are themselves insecure.
I mean, I'm quite thick-skinned, so I'm like, you know what? If you don't like it, you can find somewhere else to go and have a go.
The other thing you can do is pass them a coin. Now, over here in Australia, it's a 50-cent piece you'd utilise. I'm not sure what it is in your neck of the woods, but the line you hit them with is, here's 50 cents. Call someone who cares, mate.
Yeah. No, I do my modelling for me, and it's only for me.
Well, at the end of the day, that's all it should be for, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I've got to say, this small community that we've got, that we all follow each other about and whatever we do, we're learning as we go along.
Yeah, very much so.
None of us are perfect.
Well, no.
No, I'm not.
You're doing very good, though, Tasha.
Oh, thank you. I try my best.
Yeah, that's all you can do. You do. It's like I say, you do your own thing, do your best. If you're happy with it, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Almost nothing matters, mate. If you consider the final analysis, the entire of humanity on a universal level,
Yeah,
is pretty much a blip on the landscape. Bear in mind the Himalayas will disappear one day. All of it.
yeah.
And so what that means is that in the final analysis, what's worth getting worked up about? Absolutely nothing.
Right.
I'm Kent Brockman, and that's my 2 cents worth. Actually, I'm not Kent Brockman at all, but that's my 2 cents worth anyway.
Yeah. Oh, it's an awful kit, this is.
I need a funky one.
There we go. Alrighty. Now, once I get these borders done and perform the act of edging in, it's time to trot out the bigger brush.
Scott, you need to finish your P47 first.
Sure.
Ah. So it's been a while since I built a P47. I have built one. I built Gabby Gabreski's. but I have a Corsair to build before I can consider a P-47 again. Got a rather nice Tamiya one. Tamiya or the gear. Certainly in my experience.
I've not really been into the military stuff personally. I do love watching people building them. I think the detail on some of the kits is absolutely phenomenal, but it's not something I've fancied myself. I don't know if I'm scared of the painting, doing the camo and stuff on it.
Yeah.
Actually, I'll tell you a brand of, and again, these are military, but kits that are just wow, Ryefield. If ever you got the urge to build a tank, Ryefield.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye for
that. They do this tank with a clear hull, so that you can basically show off all the mechanics of the engine clearly, and
All
of
right.
course,
Yeah.
work and all that sort of shit as well.
Yeah.
I was discussing with a mate when we were looking at it as to how you'd paint that or not. Would you grease it up? Would you? A whole stack of things to consider on that one.
Yeah.
But it was a beautiful kit. And on the whole, it must be said, not that expensive in terms of in Australian dollars. It was 140, I reckon. Now, in British pounds, of course, that's a whole nother deal.
Yeah, I'd probably say around £78, I think.
We start getting into some very complex calculations there on exchange rates and then post.
Yeah, it is definitely.
But check them out. Ryefield. Rye, what is spelled like you'd expect, a field of rye.
Yeah.
Well worth a check out if you're curious on that sort of a deal. Alrighty. Now, with this brush done, we're done with. Excuse me. I'm going to quickly finish off the bombing grey, and that will be our canopies done. And then I'm going to wind the stream up, guys.
Yeah, no worries, dude. Tack, do you want me to kick up a stream after this? Carry on, will you?
Oh, you'll do one?
I can kick off a stream after this if anybody's still lurking about.
Oh, good idea. Why not?
I don't mind, really. It depends if Tash is still awake or if Scott's wanting to jump in. I don't mind, dudes.
Well, that's a good way to roll.
I'm awake at the moment.
Well, there's a good enough reason as any to join him on his stream. You're awake? Boom.
I'm very much a night owl. I am. I'm not one for being up early.
All right. But I am very happy with the outcome of today's session, as far as for me personally on the amount of work we got done.
Yeah, that's good.
I have not had any major dramas in my build during the session, which is always a good outcome at any given time.
definitely.
Dramas we don't need.
I don't do drama. Bloody hell.
No. Now, I've got a bit of paint reactivation here from the green, which is not surprising. But that's okay. It'll require a second coat anyway. So the concern is not really there. You got to feel sorry for the guy in the ball turret. God, how cramped would it have been? I once heard one horror story of some guy of about 6'4" being put in a ball turret. They'd have to be pulling the shortest straw, you know. All right, now that's going to require, like I said, a second coat of pretty major
Yeah.
second coat. But
Looks
beyond
good,
that,
though.
that's all good. Last bit to do is here. Oops, the days. This won't take long at all. Once I've got it all done, I will do a quick zoom in on what we have done. And then I'll wind things up. And then, Dale, if you want to kick a stream off. And you never know, because I've got to do a few things, but depending on how long you go for, I may even see when I get back. You never know your luck.
Possibly. Scott's having his dinner. Bless him.
Now, all right. I'm almost there. Yeah, that's going to look cool once it's completely sort of like finished and second coating and stuff like that. Give it a bit more love. There we go. Boom. All right, clean brush. But goggles off, clean brush. Don't mind those goggles. I got the ones I use. I got from a jeweler's store, and they're good. And they're actually quite comfortable, but you know, it's not a bad sensation to get them off. They get kind of sweaty, or when you start sweating, it gets a bit yucky. It's a warm day here in Australia, so even with the aircon, it's yeah. Alrighty, so where we are at with our canopies, and again, some certainly some second coat action required, but here's our. Now that's the. Hang on a moment, let me just get that out of the way. And that. These are our front fuselage near the cockpit, I believe. So that's the front, outside, inside. Now we'll go get off of there. Same, we have that's about halfway down the fuselage, I believe, that they go into. Again, I'm not so bothered about those inconsistencies on the inside. They fall heavily into, as I said, if they're going to be that rivet pickety, or pickety, you know what I'm saying.
Yes.
Death is too good for them. Or if it does arrive, it should be slow and lingering. Now, next I will, there we'll do that. Here's our cockpit canopy. You can see it does need a few bits done here and there just to tidy it up a bit nicely. I'll give that actually a bit of a polish before I start, but there we go. There's an interior green with window seals, which can be seen from the outside.
Nice.
So yeah. And finally, there's this bit, of course, same deal ultimately. There it is. The bit I'm kind of most pleased with in many ways is our ball turret, because you can see the rubber and the interior green. Then we've got this here, and you can see all the clear. You can see once that's done, that'll look really good.
Yeah.
Here's the front of our TIE fighter. Oh, ball turret, I mean. Boom. So ultimately, of course, in the final analysis, they go, I think it's that way around, with guns put in, and I've just spotted a bit I need to scratch out. Hopefully that'll be achievable. But again, I think I'm probably safe on the... Anyway, that's me done for today. Yeah, it is lunchtime, mate. Alrighty. Well, guys, that is me done. Thank you very much for watching and joining in. I do appreciate it.
No worries, dude.
Now, tomorrow I'll be back around the same sort of a time. I don't think I have anything I have to do tomorrow. Tomorrow. Oh, my Latin class, but that's not till the afternoon. So, but yes, again, thank you for watching. Now, any first-time viewers out there, time for you to hit that magic button of follow, like, or subscribe. Very simple, really. If you would like to track me down on other platforms, I'm Rob the Builder on Facebook and YouTube. I'm Robster the Builder on Instagram, Twitch, and Discord, and Rob the Builder and Food Monster on Twitter. Again, follow, like, subscribe. What can I tell you? As I said, I'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow, what I'm working on will be somewhat dependent on whether I get the assembly sheets for the harnesses. We shall see how that rolls out. Failing that, I've got shitloads of other stuff to work on, man. It's not real hard, you know. Alrighty. Now, with all that said, are we back tomorrow? Same, well, not the same, but certainly a similar time. Similar kit time, but the same kit channel. I'll catch you guys then. See yous.
Bye.
I know.